Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me for a quick update on the tropics. Today is September 8th, 2025, and the Atlantic Ocean is unusually quiet. The National Hurricane Center expects no new tropical storms or hurricanes for the next week. This is a rare and welcome break, especially as we approach the peak of hurricane season on September 10th. Typically, this time of year is very active, so a calm stretch is something to appreciate. The Atlantic, Caribbean, and Gulf of Mexico are all showing normal, sunny weather. This is a great time to relax, but also to make sure you're prepared for the rest of the season. Remember, hurricane season runs until November 30th. Enjoy the calm, but stay alert. September can still bring surprises. Use this time to check your plans and supplies. Let's take a closer look at what's keeping things so quiet right now. One major reason for the quiet is the Saharan air layer, dry, dusty air from Africa. Winds lift Sahara desert dust high into the atmosphere, sending it across the Atlantic. This dry air acts like a lid, stopping storms from growing, like pouring sand on a campfire. The dust also creates wind shear, which disrupts the organization storms need to strengthen. Lately, this Saharan dust has formed a shield over the Atlantic, blocking several potential storms. When tropical waves move off Africa, they hit this wall of dry air and often fizzle out. That's why we haven't seen more named storms in the far Atlantic this season. However, forecasters are noticing some breaks in the dust layer, cracks in the shield. These gaps could allow storms to develop if conditions become more favorable. So, while the dust has protected us, we're watching closely for any changes. The shield won't last forever, and September is far from over. The next few weeks could bring new opportunities for storms to form. For now, the Saharan dust remains our best defense. Let's see how it recently stopped a storm in its tracks. Last week, forecasters watched a system called Invest 91L, expecting it to become a tropical storm. It had warm water and showed early signs of organization, classic ingredients for a September storm. But then, a dense plume of Saharan dust swept in. The dry air and wind shear quickly weakened the system, tearing it apart. Within days, its chances of developing dropped to almost zero. The National Hurricane Center stopped updates and the system dissipated over open water. No threat to land, no storm, just a reminder that nature has its own checks and balances. Even when conditions seem right, the Saharan dust can be a game changer. Let's shift our focus closer to home. While the Atlantic is quiet, we're keeping an eye on the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea. These areas have very warm water and aren't affected by Saharan dust. A stalled front in the northern Gulf is bringing rain to Florida, but no tropical development is expected. Another weak system may move into the Atlantic, but chances of it becoming a storm are low. Even small systems here can cause heavy rain and flooding, so they're important to watch. Storms in the Gulf or Caribbean can reach land quickly, leaving little time to prepare. Right now, the environment is calm with no immediate threats. But conditions can change fast. One small disturbance could find the right ingredients and strengthen. That's why forecasters monitor these regions closely. For now, enjoy the calm, but stay ready. Let's look ahead at what the forecasts are showing. The next few weeks could be interesting. What's next? The next week looks quiet, but forecasters are watching for changes later in September. The Climate Prediction Center highlights two areas to watch: the Gulf, Caribbean, and the far eastern Atlantic. Chances of storm formation are low for now, but conditions could become more favorable soon. Computer models show weak hints of possible development, but nothing strong yet. Forecasts get less certain the further out you look, so these are just trends, not guarantees. The key takeaway: the ingredients for storms are still out there. We're entering the most active part of the season, so the quiet could end quickly. Stay alert and keep an eye on updates. Let's talk about why this time of year is so important. The peak of hurricane season is here. The Atlantic hurricane season peaks around September 10th, right now. Historically, more storms are active on this date than any other. June and July are usually quiet, but activity ramps up in August and peaks in early September. After the peak, storms remain common through September and into October before tapering off. Even though it's quiet today, this is the most dangerous part of the season. A calm period now can be followed by a sudden burst of activity. The ocean is at its warmest, and all it takes is the right conditions for storms to form. Stay vigilant. History shows the season's peak is no time to relax. Now let's talk about the next storm name on the list. When a tropical storm reaches 39 miles per hour, it gets a name, making communication clear and safe. The World Meteorological Organization rotates 6 lists of names. Deadly storms have their names retired. So far this season, we've had several named storms. The next name is Gabrielle. If a new system strengthens, it'll be called Tropical Storm Gabrielle, a clear sign to pay attention. Knowing the next name helps us stay prepared, even during quiet spells. We hope not to hear Gabrielle soon, but it's a reminder to keep our plans ready. Let's use this calm to get prepared. This quiet week is a golden opportunity to get ready for hurricane season. Check your hurricane supply kit: water, food, batteries, and medications. Make sure your flashlights work and your first aid kit is stocked. Review your family's hurricane plan, evacuation routes, meeting places, and emergency contacts. Write down important phone numbers in case your phone dies. Preparing now, while it's calm, reduces stress if a storm threatens later. September is known for surprises, so use this time wisely. Being ready gives you peace of mind and keeps your family safe. Stay informed, check your supplies, and review your plan. Your future self will thank you.